session recording now. And I'm also going to share with you, we have a full Kaltura course in Canvas that is just full of resources. So if at any point, say you're working at like 2 in the morning and you want to know how to use Kaltura, you can click on this link and enroll into the course. I shared the link in the chat, and that will take you to all of those resources and this recording as well. Once the recording is finished, we put it in the course. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Kaltura and my media. So bear with me for a second as I share my screen. Okay, so I'm going to try and explain the differences between what my media is and what Kaltura is. So my media is, I like to call it like your own YouTube channel, but the only person who has access to it is you. So anything that you film using Kaltura will go into your My Media, which is housed in Canvas. And then Kaltura is the recording software. So you can use Kaltura to record your webcam, your screen, or that sort of thing. To access both Kaltura and My Media, you can do so within Canvas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my profile icon up at the top left, and then I'm going to choose My Media from the list of links. Now I will say that Kaltura recently has been going a little slow, Kaltura and My Media, and that is just because of the surge of use with the entire country and the world having to go online. So you might have just a little longer wait times than normal. But now I am in my Media, and this is individual to you. So it's all of your videos. So yours will look different from mine. If you haven't recorded anything yet, then your My Media will be empty. So these are all of the videos that I have created in the past. I have a search feature up here if I'm looking for a particular video, or if I want to create a new video, there is this blue Add New button right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that button, and then you have a couple of options here. One of those options is for a media upload. That would be if you already have a video that you've created, like an MP4 or an MOV, and you want that to either be captioned or you're worried about file storage in your class, you can upload it to your My Media, and then that will not only save space in your class, but you will be able to get that video captioned. So we highly recommend that if you do have MP4 or MOV videos, that you upload them to your My Media. You have another option down here, which is Kaltura Capture. Now this would be if you want to record a new video. So if you want to record a lecture, a welcome video, you can record anything using Kaltura Capture. So right now I'm just going to click on Kaltura Capture. Every single time you click on it, it's going to ask you to agree to the terms and services. They don't change. It just asks you every time to be thorough, I guess. If you already have Kaltura downloaded on your computer, you can click Open Kaltura Capture. You should get some sort of pop-up asking if you want to just open the program. If you've never used it before and you don't have it downloaded, you will have to download it to your machine. You can download it for Windows and you can download it for Mac. Since it's already downloaded on my computer, I'm not going to go through that process, but it's just like downloading any other software onto your computer that you've done before. So once you do that and you have it all downloaded onto your computer, you will click on Open Kaltura Capture. And I just have to switch gears for just a sec and share my whole screen and not just my application, so bear with me just one more second. Okay, now you should be able to see my whole screen. Okay, so what I did was I opened Kaltura Capture, and then this little recording toolbar will pop up. This big red button on the left-hand side, this is your recording button. Next to that is the screen icon. So right now my screen is turned off, which means that my screen will not be recorded in this recording. If I want to turn the screen on, say if I want to record a PowerPoint or I want to walk through Canvas and show my students something, I will click on screen, and when it's blue, it means that your screen will be recorded. Now, if you have multiple screens, say if you have a large display, you can click on the drop-down menu and then choose which screen you would like to record. The second option is your camera. You can record your screen and your camera at the same time if you would like to. So if you want to just give like a little personal touch to your lectures, you could turn your camera on as well. With my setup right now, I can't actually click on it and turn it on because my camera is not functional at the moment, but you would be able to toggle it on and off like you could with your screen. And then if you have two cameras or however many cameras, there is the drop-down menu next to that as well where you can choose your camera. And the other option is audio. Again, there's the drop-down menu where you can choose which microphone you want to be picked up. And then, of course, if you don't want audio, you can turn it off. But more likely than not, you'll have your audio turned on. If you record your screen and your camera at the same time, your students will get to choose which video is the largest on their screen. So they'll be able to toggle between your webcam and your camera. So your students kind of have control over which video is the largest for them. For this instance, I'm just going to do my screen and my audio. And when I'm ready to record, say if I pull my PowerPoint up, I can hit start recording. It's going to give me a nice little countdown. And then my little toolbar will minimize, so that toolbar won't be visible in the recording itself. I'm going to open it just so we can take a look at it. This is what's going to pop up when you hit start recording. And you have a couple of options here. The far left is to stop recording. That means that you are done with your video, you're happy with it, and you're ready for it to go into Canvas. So I'm going to hit stop recording there. You do have the option to pause. So if I stumble over my words or I lose track of what I'm saying, instead of scrapping the whole video and starting from scratch, I can just pause, collect myself, and then continue on. Or if there's noise happening in the background, you can pause your video and wait for the noise to end and then restart. And then you have the option to cancel the recording completely. So that would be if you're just totally unhappy with the video, something messed up, your cat ran through the screen, knocked over your water, things got crazy, you can cancel the recording and totally start over. And then, of course, you can see how long your video was going for. Right now, it's paused. My recording is paused, so it's stuck at 31 minutes, or seconds. But when I'm ready, I can hit resume, and then my panel will minimize again, and that timer will keep going up. I have my audio just to confirm that my microphone is working, which it is. And then I have an annotation over here, which is kind of cool. So if you're a math instructor or a language instructor and you want to write on the screen, you can click on that little pen, and then you get some options here. You can type on the screen if you'd like. Otherwise, there is a draw tool. So I'm going to click on that, and then you have options to change the color of the pen and then the size of the pen. And then you can simply just start drawing on your screen. And this would work too, again, if you were sharing a PowerPoint or sharing a Word document. You can annotate anything on the screen. So I can draw over on the left here. You can annotate absolutely anything. And then when you're done doing these annotations, there is a little trash can where you can clear the annotations and start over. Now that I did that, I'm pretty happy with my recording, and I'm done with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit stop recording. It's going to ask you if you're sure that you want to stop. So yes, I do. And then this window will pop up. And in this window, you can name your video, which I highly, highly recommend, because if you don't, the video will just be called Kaltura Capture and then the date. And that can get extremely confusing for you if you start making lots of videos. They're all going to be called Kaltura Capture Recording, and it's not going to be a fun time down the line. Those videos will easily get lost or confused with each other. So we like to recommend titling it something rather specific. You don't have to put your name in it or anything, but if this video is, I don't know, for an Art 100 class, I could say Art 100 Lecture 1 or something like that, just so you can easily tell it apart from other videos. And then you have two options, or three, I should say. You could delete the video if you were just really unhappy with it and you're like, actually, yeah, I want to start over. You have the option to delete, and then you have the option to save and upload, and then you have an option to just save. I rarely, if ever, recommend just clicking save. Saving it will save it locally on your computer, and it's just a pain to find the video later. I always recommend clicking save and upload, and it'll go to your My Media. There isn't really a downside to doing that. Nobody has access to your My Media except for you, and then, well, me, because I'm an administrator. Your students wouldn't be able to see any of those test videos, or if you're unsure if you want students to see it, they won't see it if you add it to your My Media. So I always recommend save and upload. So when you hit that, you'll see the status of your video. Depending on how long your video is, it could take quite a bit for it to fully process. I always like to recommend giving yourself a couple of hours to have the video fully processed and go up. I'm sure none of you are going to be recording videos the morning that your students need to watch them or something, but just in case, it's good to give yourself a little bit of a buffer. So as that is recording, I'm going to show you how to actually add your videos to a class. So in Canvas, I'm going to go to one of my classes. Okay, so now that I'm in one of my classes, the way that you add a video to your class is by creating a new page. The videos will be embedded into that page. So I'll find my module that I want to add this video to. I'll click on the plus button on the far right here. And then from the drop-down menu, I'll choose Page. You could choose a page that already exists if you would like. For my case, I'm going to click on New Page. And then I'm going to title my page. So this could be, you could title it whatever you would like. So if this is, I don't know, Lecture 3, you could title it Lecture 3, however you want to name that page. I'm going to click on Add Item. And then this Canvas just entered a empty page for me. There's obviously no content in it yet because I haven't done anything yet. So I'm going to click on that video embed page. And as you can see, it's empty here. To actually add my video, I'm going to hit edit up at the top right. And then I get this rich content editor. And then this is where you will actually embed that video. So I'm going to choose the blue V icon on my toolbar. This is the More External Tools tool. And when I click on that, one of the options will be embed Kaltura Media or embed My Media. Yours might be phrased slightly different because you're an instructor, but you will have this embed media option here. The thing to look for is this colorful spoke wheel here. That is the Kaltura logo. So I'm going to click on Embed Kaltura Media. This page is notorious for taking a little while to load, so I'm going to go ahead and give it the seconds that it may need. Hopefully it loads in a decent amount of time. There we go. Okay, So we can see the video that I had just made, that test lecture video. You can see that it's still processing because these little spokes are moving. You can still embed the video if it's processing. That's totally okay. The video will still show up. If your video is taking more than like a day to process, please email us and let us know, because there is the rare occasion where the file breaks. So just email innovations@uwp if this is scrolling for more than 24 hours. Please give us a heads up on that. But I'm going to find the video that I want to embed, and then I'm going to click on the blue embed button to the right of my video. Okay, so that embedded my video into my page. So what your students would see is when they log in, they would see this video player and they would be able to play the video and access it. You can also type in the page even after you added the video. So if you wanted to give context to the video or make sure you pay attention to this spot, whatever, you can still type in the page underneath the video. And then when I'm done, I'm going to hit save or save and publish. And now my video is in my class. So like I was saying before, that if you have an MP4 or an MOV that you want to put into your class, the reason why we want it to be in Kaltura and not just uploaded to your Canvas class is that each Canvas class only has 1 GB of storage space. That is not a lot of space, especially if you're using videos. In a lot of cases, that might be 1, maybe 2 videos that you can fit into a class. When you embed the videos from your My Media, that takes up almost no storage space whatsoever, because Canvas isn't housing that video. My Media is. So it's almost like you're just adding a link to the video when you embed it. Now that I talked about why we want to use My Media and to upload those MP4s, I'm going to show you actually how to upload an MP4. So I'm going back to My Media. Again, that blue Add New button here. And then I'm going to choose the Media Upload option. Again, you're going to agree to those terms and services. And then you can drag and drop a file from your dashboard. So I have some MP4s that need to be uploaded. I can just drag and drop one here. Otherwise, if you're not comfortable dragging and dropping, you can hit the choose a file to upload, and that will open up your browser window. So I'll choose my video, and then I'll hit open, and then the video will start to upload. If you have a gigantic video, say a couple gigs, I'm not sure how common that will be, but if you do, it might take a couple of times for the video to actually upload. Me and Steve particularly, we have some rather large videos that take quite a while to upload, and then they do and they fail. Just keep trying, try maybe 1 or 2 times. If it's not working, again, email us, and me and Linda have our admin magic that we can go and make it work. Again, you would want to name the video. You can name it whatever you would like. You could add a description to the video. And then this is the big one that we get questions on a lot, which is publishing. You do not have to publish your video in order for students to see it. If you put the video into your class, or if you send the link out to your students via email, it will automatically get published. If you click publish from here, after my video is done uploading, it's going to ask you a bunch of questions like where you want to publish the video to. You totally don't have to do that. It can get rather confusing rather quickly. So just know that if you leave your video as private and you put it in your class, your students will still be able to see it. Public would just be if you want like random people to come see the video, which I don't think that you would want that. So once the video starts uploading, mine's taking quite a while, so I'm gonna cancel out of it, but once it uploads, it will show up in your My Media like the others. So we can see all of our videos here. Before I move on to captioning, I hear some action in the chat. Is there anything anybody wants to talk about before we get to captioning, or are there any questions?
One of the questions is, how do we access this tutorial? I'm assuming we're talking about after this recording is done, correct?
Okay, so to access this recording, Gary Wood or Innovations, I'm not sure who the email is going to come from. We're sending out an email early next week with all of our training recordings, and then we're also going to be putting it in that Kaltura resources course. I put the link in the chat to the resources course. So if you access that, then the recording is going to be in there. Are there other questions? Are we good to go? Okay, I'm gonna take the quiet as a good to go. All right, so we're gonna move on to captioning. Now hold on just 1 second while I get to my captioning page here. And this video is in that resources course that I shared. So this information will be available to you indefinitely if you enroll into that class. Okay, so we have two different options when it comes to video captioning. One of them is called 3Play Media, and it is a third-party service that Parkside pays for. So I think it's like $1 a minute or something like that to get a video captioned through 3Play. And if you want captions through 3Play, there is a caption request form that you can fill out and send to us. Otherwise, you can just email us and let us know that you have videos that need to be captioned, and we can get that done for you. The pros of 3Play is that it comes with a transcript. So it'll not only have the captions, but it'll also have a transcript, a PDF of your script. 3Play is also rather accurate. It's about a 95% accuracy rate. If you do need to make changes, we have to make the changes, but I'll go over that in a second. And this is the best option for videos that are over 5 to 10 minutes long. So if you have longer videos, 5 to 10 minutes, going up into the 15, 20, maybe to an hour, you definitely want to use 3Play for those longer videos. The cons of 3Play is that it's about a 2-week turnaround time. So it's not immediate. There is a waiting period for that, those captions and transcripts. You do have to send in a request to have the captions done and to have us edit those captions for you. And then again, the caption errors will have to be edited by our team. The second option for captioning is Kaltura self-captioning. This is brand new. Kaltura now will let you self-caption your videos, which I will walk through how to do that in just a moment. But it's a same-day turnaround time, so there's not that 2 weeks. You will get the captions the day or the day after you send them in. Everything can be done by the user, so nothing has to be done by the innovations team. Of course we can, but if you want to take on that responsibility, you can do it yourself. This is best for videos that are under 10 minutes, under 5 minutes, just because the accuracy rate is not that good. It's about a 75% accuracy rate. They are machine captioned. So if you're using a lot of words from your discipline, the computer might not be able to pick those up so great. Or if you're kind of far away from the microphone, the computer might not be able to grab it and understand those words. But the good news is that you can edit them yourself. We won't have to go in and do that editing, and the editing process is quite simple. But again, if your videos are long, say like an hour long, you could spend like 5 hours editing your captions, which who wants to do that? Nobody has the time for that. So just keep that in mind when you're choosing which system you want to use. The other con of self-captioning is that there's not a transcript. That is something that's in the works. It's a service that's going to be provided eventually, but of course, eventually is not now. So there is not a transcript provided with self-captioning. Okay, so that's kind of the pros and the cons of the two different systems. There's nothing really I can walk through with 3Play. Again, it's a request that you would make to our team, and then we would send those videos out for you to get captioned. But again, you can use the self-captioning tool yourself. So to do that, I'm going to go back to my media, and I'm going to find the video that I want to be captioned. When I find that video that I want to be captioned, I'm going to click on it. It's going to open up my video here. And then down at the bottom, there's an Actions drop-down menu here. So I'm going to click on that. And then there's an option for Caption and Enrich. So I'm going to click on that there. And right now it says that no requests were found. That's because there's no captions on this video yet, and I didn't submit any of those captions yet. Down here, we can order our captions. So the service will be machine, the language, you can choose your language, which is really nice. And then the feature is captions. So you don't really have options here other than the source of the language. So if you're speaking in French, you can choose that French is the source language, and then your captions will be in French. So that's really nice. So then when I'm happy with my settings, I'm going to hit submit. And now you can see that the existing requests have the requests that we just made. And we can see that the status is pending. You're not going to get like an email notification when the captions are done. You just have to come and check back. They don't take too long. Again, I would maybe give it an hour just to be safe. Go get yourself a cup of coffee, have lunch, come back, and then the captions should be done. What it looks like when captions are done, I'm going to find my video that does have captions on it. Just one moment while these load. Okay, so this one has captions that were already created. So then if I want to see if the captions are done being created and if I want to edit them, I'm going to click on the Actions button again, and then again with Caption and Enrich. And then we can see that the existing request, it has been completed. And then I want to edit the captions because I noticed there are some issues in the captions. So I'm going to click on this little pencil icon here. This is going to take me to my caption editor. And then for whatever reason, the videos are kind of broken today. Oh no, okay, cool. So our video is here, and then you can play the video, and then you can see the captions at the same time, like at the same speed of the video. So if I find an error here, there's not an error here, but just in case, if I find an error, all I have to do is click into the box with the corresponding captions, and then I can go in and make my edit. And then when I'm happy with it, I would hit save. And then of course you can scroll through the whole video and edit your captions accordingly. There were a couple times in this video where I didn't like the format of the captions, or I thought that maybe this couldn't make section made more sense up here. So you can edit the captions however you want and then save those changes. But again, that's why I recommend that this is not done for very long lecture videos, because you could be doing this for such a long time. So I recommend 3Play for that. But you can do this even after your video has been added to a class. You can do this at any point after your video has been created. So that's really important to know. The other really cool thing about the caption, the Calc self-captioning tool, is that students also have access to this. Students don't have access to 3Play, but students do have access to caption their own videos. So if you want them to caption their own videos, they totally have access to do that, and they can do that, which is great. And then the captions will automatically show up on your video, and you don't have to do anything extra after that. So then I'm going to hit save. Yes, I want to save that. And then there's a teeny tiny little back button up at the top right there, which I'm going to click, and then I will go back to my video. So I kind of ran through captioning pretty quickly, and it looks like we still have a lot of time left, so I can use this time to answer any questions that you guys have.
We did have one about using multiple languages for captions. So if I remember correctly, can we only include one language for captioning at a time, or can we have more than one version of captions enabled?
Right now, we can only have one language at a time. Only one caption file can be in the video at once. But we did kind of come up with an interesting workaround, which would be if you did want a second language, we could make 2 videos and put them in a playlist. So students would be able to see the playlist and then choose, say, if they want the German version of the video or the English version of the video, and they'd be able to choose that way. But for one single video, there's not a way to have 2 different caption files.
Hannah, there's also a question asking if you have a little bit of time to demo what the editor tool looks like in Kaltura. I know it's pretty basic, but like the trimming and things.
Oh, yeah, totally. I can do that right now. I completely forgot about the editor. Thank you for that question. So to edit a video, it's a very, very basic editor. You can essentially just trim your video. So at the end of your video, if you stumble a couple of times, or you want to get rid of a certain something in the video, or at the end of the video, you can totally trim out those sections. So to trim my video, I just clicked on the video that I want to edit, and then I hit X down here, and then you can launch the editor. Now again, this is a very basic editor. You're not going to be doing any CGI or anything in this editor. The only thing you can really do is trim your video. So if I wanted to get rid of, say, I messed up the first 5 seconds, you could hear my cat running around in the background. It's just not a good time. I can trim that video, and I'm going to hit split is what I was looking for. So now the video has been trimmed, which is really nice. And then you have the option to save the video, and that will update everywhere that the video currently is. So if you have a video embedded into your course and you trim it, the trimming will be replicated in the course where the video is. And you have an option to save a copy. So if you don't want to totally, like, you don't want to risk losing your original work, you're not sure how the editor works fully, you can hit save a copy, and it'll duplicate the video for you, so you won't lose that original video. I typically recommend that, just in case if you over trimmed or something like that, just be safe that way. So yeah, this is just kind of fun to play with. Again, you can make as many test videos as you want, and you can mess around with the editor and just see how that kind of works. And then these, your edited videos could take a while to show up. I've waited quite a long time for the updated video to show up, like not days or anything like that, but it has definitely taken hours for those small changes to take place. Do you have other questions?
We do have another one. Oh, do you want to take it, Maggie?
We just have a question about, one, can you trim in the middle? And then the second question is, could you demonstrate how to create a playlist?
I can demonstrate the how to trim in the middle, but the playlist is something that I would have to do on the admin end that you guys don't have access to. So you would just have to tell me that you wanted a playlist and I would make the playlist for you, being Linda would. But unfortunately, that's not something that you would be able to do on your own. But to trim something in the middle, you totally can do that. I'm going to go back to that editor. Oh, should pick a different video. My apologies. Okay, so then if you wanted to trim something in the middle of your video, you would just use these sliders to choose the area that you would want to delete. And then you would hit split. And then you can delete this section. So then that section totally just got wiped out of my video. And then you can see where it used to be by this gray line here that is showing where that area used to be. So I'm going to exit this and just show you one more time how to do that. So I'll go into my video, actions, caption and enrich. Oh, nope, we're not captioning, we're editing. So I'm going to hit the launch editor. And then again, you'll use these sliders to find the area that you want to cut out. You can also use this timeline zoom if you need to. So my video is quite long. I think it's like an hour long. So if I needed to zoom in to get closer, to get really down to like the seconds of what I want deleted, I could use the zoom. And then again, I would use the sliders to cut certain things out. I would hit split. I'd select it again, and then I would hit delete. So that just deleted that section of the video. And then again, you would want to hit save or save and copy. Okay, do we have other questions?
How would you take a 30-minute video and make it 3 separate 10-minute videos?
You would have to record them all separately, or you would have to download the video and split it in a video editor. Unfortunately, there's not. Or you could. I guess you could, if you wanted to save a copy multiple times, you could do the actions, launch the editor, and split the video into 10-minute chunks and then just continuously save a copy. So you would do that 3 separate times. But if you accidentally hit save, then the original video would be gone and you might be left with that one 10-minute chunk. But if you're confident in the hitting the save a copy, then you could do that 3 times. I don't know if how I explained that made sense. Please let me know if I need to clarify.
And you would also have, unless you chose to delete it when you uploaded it, you'd still have your copy saved on your computer. So even if that did happen, you could probably still have a copy to re-upload.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. Other questions?
Playlists can only be created on your end. Is there a way for me to create a playlist of MP3 files or videos for each module?
Again, I would have to make the playlist, like kind of if we're thinking of like a YouTube playlist where there's the one video player with all the videos like in the video player. But a way to replicate a playlist, I guess, is well, you're not really replicating it, but you can embed as many videos into one page as you want. So there are instructors that break their lectures up into chunks. So, and then what they do is they put part 1 here. then they'll go in and find their second video and just embed it underneath the first one. So you don't technically need a playlist, I guess. You can just embed all of the videos into one page. It doesn't look as clean. It can be kind of bulky, but it's the workaround that we have at the moment, is just to embed them all into the one page together. So right now I have my 2 videos here. And now you can see that they're stacked on top of each other in the same page. And you can do this with MP3s as well. MP3s can be uploaded to your My Media, as well as you can record just your audio with Kaltura if you would prefer just to have audio. Any other questions?
None as of yet, by the looks of it.
Okay. All right. Well, was that a question there?
Yeah, you got 2 coming in now. One is, how do I share a playlist with somebody outside of the Canvas page? And then the second one is, do you know why sometimes MP3s skip? I create them from PowerPoints and they don't always go 100%.
The MP3 question I can't answer. If they're being uploaded to your My Media, if you could send me a link to that one, that would be great. Or let us know what it's titled so I could see it. But if it's breaking in PowerPoint, that I'm not totally sure on. But to share your videos with somebody outside of Canvas, the way that you would do that is you would go to your My Media. You would find the video that you're looking for. And then up on the top right-hand side, you have 2 little icons. The one on the left is a download. So if you wanted to download your video and have a copy of it on your computer, like an MP4 version of it, you can. Otherwise, you have this share icon. And you would choose the link from here, copy it, and then you could email it to anybody in the world, and they would be able to watch your video. Do you have other questions?
There's one more
trying
question
to figure
from
out.
Claire. Yeah, that Steve is working on.
Yeah, it's about being able to embed a My Media video into a PowerPoint file, which I know you can embed YouTube videos and you can link to external URLs. I'm going to check and see if it can directly embed it. I wouldn't count on it, but I'll let you know in a moment.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Alrighty, well, I'm going to stop sharing my screen then if we are all good with the questions. And then if you guys are all good, then I guess you get the extra 15 minutes to enjoy your afternoon. I'm going to